Okay, so what we're going to do today is learn how to properly diagnose an electric water heater to find out if the elements are in fact bad or the thermostat is bad on the upper or lower. You will need a multimeter, possibly an element wrench, just in case the element's bad and you need to replace it, channel locks, and screwdriver. First thing you'll have to do is make sure the power's off at the breaker to the water heater, and just verify by taking the cover off, testing the prongs with your multimeter. With the power being off, now depending on what you're there for, the customer might say they have hot water, but it doesn't last long. That could be, or the reason why that could be, is that the upper element is heating the top half of the tank. So when they're using the hot water, they're only getting half because the bottom element is not working. So after you have the power off, go ahead and remove these covers. You have some insulation to remove. Clearly it's been leaking here, which is why this one is out and had to be replaced. But what we're going to do is go ahead and test the elements. You want to make sure the power's off. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove these wires like so, just out of the way so they're not touching the element. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set it to ohms, and then you are going to want to touch the needles to each screw. And this is a 4,500 watt element, so it should be reading 12.8 for perfect, and then within 2 of that. So 2 lower, 2 upper. For an example, if it is reading 11.8, it's still good because it's within the 2. If it is reading anything lower, it will have to be replaced. So after we test this element and we find out that it is bad, we are then going to make sure we have a replacement element on our van, or we could run to the hardware store and get one. They are universal as long as it says, I don't know if I can get in there, but it should say 4,500 watt on there. With that being said, if you do have the element on your van, you would then drain the tank down, use your element wrench to remove A lot of times it just takes patience. Get it hand tight and then snug it with channel locks. And you get it hand tight with the element wrench and then just snug it up with the channel locks. And then from there all you do is hook your wires back up like so. Tighten it with your screwdriver. Make sure the bottom element's good too by testing that. If it's bad, go ahead and change it out. If both elements are testing good, another test is testing shortness to ground. So once again, with the wires off, you can test shortness to ground by touching touching the actual well of the tank. If you are getting any kind of continuity running through, the element needs to be replaced because the rubber grommet is ripped, causing the electrical current to go through the actual tank. With that being said, if the element tests good on both upper and lower, and if it passed the shortened to ground, then it is going to be the upper thermostat most likely, which in that case just change them both. Change both thermostats, upper and lower, or just upper if it only has an upper, and then offer to change the elements as an upgrade. Other than that, once you've done all your testing, after you have done your testing and you find it to only be the thermostats, it's a very simple process. With the power off, still. What I do is I'll take a picture, especially just starting working on electrical water heaters, of the wire placement. We know that red goes with blue, so we can leave it like that. You go to your van and you grab your new thermostat. It's going to resemble exactly like this one. And what you're going to do is then, like I said, take a picture, remove the wires. Then there's a little clip here that just pops up like so. And then the element just pops right up. These wires will go on the new element. Sorry, not element. These wires will go on the new thermostat. So you'd go ahead and switch them over to the new thermostat. all you're going to do is you're going to pull these tabs again. Just a little bit. Like so. That's going to lock in place. These two little tabs hold it in. And then all you're going to do is look at your picture for reference, and it's going to hook these wires back up. Just like that. That is how you change the thermostats, the elements. Also, if you notice, the lower thermostat is very similar, just a little smaller and only has 2 wires. And to adjust the temperature, there's a little spot to adjust it here, a little spot to adjust it here, and a reset right here. So with that being said, that is fully how you diagnose the electric water heater to find out which part's bad and so forth.